Welcome to the brand new BMW X5 in all of its glory. I mean, just look at this interior. Would you say this is the nicest X5 ever? Let me know in the comments. And whilst you're typing out your comment, let's roll the intro, because my name's Tom and you are watching Paragon Cars, and this is a ridiculously fast BMW X5. Let's get into it. Fast, you say? This is just a regular BMW X5. It can't be that quick. It's not even the M Lite. Well, you see, that is where you would be wrong, because this is the 50E hybrid with 489 horsepower. Yeah, that's quite a lot. It's also got 700 Newton meters of torque. Will, in theory, do 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. And we will be testing that later, so stay tuned if you want to see that. And we'll also, apparently, do 256, sorry, I can't even say it, do 256 miles per gallon. Yeah, maybe in the most specific use case ever it would. But if you don't charge this thing, it's never going to do that, is it? Anyway, jokes aside, this thing has nearly 500 horsepower, so let's start with a 30 to 70 sprint. Actually, before that, let me explain how it makes that power, because it's quite interesting. See, under the bonnet, you have the B58. In this iteration of car, it has been slightly detuned to just 313 horsepower, I know, right, slumming it, and 450 Newton meters of torque. That's because the engine is going to be turning off and turning on quite frequently. So they have to reduce stress somewhere. Don't worry though, it's still a B58, so it's still an absolute weapon. Then you have 197 horsepower from the battery alone, and a further 280 Newton meters of torque. This is a 22.1 kilowatt hour battery with 19 kilowatt hours of usable capacity, which means in theory, you can get about 50 actual miles to a charge on this thing. That's pretty bonkers, really. So even if you're doing a long journey, you might still get in the high 70s in terms of MPG. But anyway, back to the 30 to 70 time. How does this thing perform once you're on the move? .30 to 70 then, we managed 3.95 seconds, the same as a brand new Golf R, faster than an Audi S4, and nearly as fast as a Range Rover Sport SVR, the new one. That is absolutely mental. We are actively looking for stock. We require sports and prestige vehicles up to 7 years and 70k miles, with a high spec and a full service history. We're able to clear your finance and collect from your doorstep, so it is hassle-free. So if you're looking to sell your car or just want to know what it's worth in today's market, please get in touch. Drop us a message or give us a call to discuss further. Oh, and by the way, massive thanks to Vines BMW for lending us this car for the review. If you want to check out their website, there'll be a link in the description below. Anyway, back to the video. So we're going to start off with some twisty road driving, then do some town driving, and finally finish off on the motorway. We're starting off with about 76% battery, 48 miles of predicted hybrid range. We are going to put that to the test. So we're doing just over 30 miles today, and I want to see how much battery I actually use. If we're only doing just over 30 miles, the maximum amount of battery charge we should use is about 50%. We should have at least a quarter of our battery range remaining. But is BMW really being honest? Anyway, let's get this thing on the twisties into sports mode, and we can explore what nearly 500 horsepower feels like in a BMW X5. Okay then, sports mode. Sports individual. I'm just going to go for sports. Traction off. Gearbox into S. Let's see what this thing does. Oh my giddy aunt! Why, BMW? Why does this thing need that much power? Exactly. Whoa! And the thing is, being a hybrid, it's instant. I need to do that again. Let's just slow right down. And go. Oh my. Whoa. So you get electric response combined with the sound of an engine. It's quite weird, really. It responds so much quicker than any other X5 I've experienced. Something like an X5M, right? You build boost, so it still gives you that like, oh, that's quick feeling, but it still has the build boost. This is just on or off. It's go. Oh my lord! And then you're just doing the speed limit. Yeah. There's not much more to say on that. Chassis dynamics, we do have adaptive dampers, so when you come into corners like this, it holds the road really well, actually. Steering is light, but do you know what? It's actually a lot better than the previous G Series X5 because it's a little bit quicker. The previous car was just a little bit too slow, I found, and it meant I was doing a lot of wheel twirling when I didn't necessarily want to be. On a twisty road now, I'm not having to cross arms. I just cannot get over how fast that is. It's the response that makes it feel so quick. Like, just over 4 seconds to 60 is already blisteringly fast, but it feels quicker because it's just so immediate. Oh, and it doesn't matter what gear you're in either. Like, let me slow down. So 6th gear, let's just go just under 2,000 revs, 41,500 revs to really get into it. 40 miles an hour, plant your foot. Look at that! That is ridiculous! It just picks up speed so quickly. And the brakes, oh, absolutely monstrous. Nice meaty brakes. God, for such a large car, this is quite impressive, really. So much torque. I mean, the B58 is such a responsive and torquey engine anyway. Adding a big old electric motor to that, well, I mean, it's unnecessary for one thing. But my lord, is it enjoyable. And the thing is, this flies so far under the radar, this car. Imagine if you remapped the engine on this thing. You'd be looking at like 600 horsepower in what just looks like a regular BMW X5. But then this is the duality of personality. You go hybrid, traction back on, gearbox back into its automatic setting, and everything just becomes quiet. The engine turns off, the suspension slackens off. You go into a nice quiet neighbourhood like this, and you just waft. You go completely under the radar. There's no noise, it's soft, it's supple on the suspension. I can tell already this is going to get a high rating, this thing. This is truly extraordinary. We did drive the X550E, which is this slightly lower powered version of this, a couple of weeks back. If you want to go and see that review, I'll put a link up in the top right hand corner for you now. And I loved that car. This is just that, but more. Quite literally, just more. There's certainly quite a lot of Hans Zimmer noises going on. Right, pulling away from this roundabout. Whee. I don't mind that though. It gives it a bit of character. The only thing that I'm not too keen on is this adaptive driving thing. So what it's doing is, even when you're just in regular drive, it's using its radar and everything to gauge how far away you are from the car in front of you, or a cyclist, or a motorbike. And if you get quite close to the car in front of you, it starts slowing you down. Obviously, you have to be off the throttle for it to do that, but it's trying to drive the car for you when you're not necessarily wanting it to. Like, I don't have the adaptive cruise control on, it's just doing it. So say like I come up to this car in front of me now, if I get fairly close to him and then come off the throttle, look, if you look at the dash here, it's actively slowing me down, not touching the brake at all. It's kind of nice in a way. Like when you're on the motorway, it's quite nice, but when you're on a B road, it'll sometimes see a cyclist and slow you down quite quickly when you're not really expecting it. It's one thing I do quite like about this car though, is that if you've got the navigation active, it's got augmented reality, so you're never going to miss a turning because it's telling you where to go. Look, It's telling me to go left. It's overlaid an arrow on the roundabout. Can't even miss it. So far we've done about 7 miles and we've still got 42 miles of remaining range. Seems like a very accurate system to me. Then when it comes to parking, this BMW X5 has the parking assist system, so it'll reverse park for me. Just click that button there, come off the brake, and the car will literally do the rest of the work for me. It's going to put me into a space next to a Honda Jazz. That's one thing it doesn't know. There's a fallen post there. I've found a fault in BMW's system. Yes, there's a fallen bollard there. I can't really blame BMW for that because that is something you probably can't program. Let's find another space to demo it. All right, start reverse parking. All right, car, let's see what you do. It's going to put me next to this Mercedes now, I think. Yes. Now this system is quite cool because it doesn't just try and get you in one go, it actually gets you nice and in the middle of the space. A lot of older systems, they would struggle to find the space, so you'd be driving around the car park for ages, you know, when you could just park yourself. Whereas this system, not only is it quite cool to show off to your mates, but it will find a space immediately, and then you literally just press one button, come off the brake, and the car will literally do the rest. And it gets you very close to objects. Whew, my heart was pounding a bit then. But yeah, then once you're in the space, it gets you right in the middle of the space, and once you're in the space, even though this is an X5, if you're not in the centre of London, you can get to the first notch on the door even when you're parked next to another SUV, in most cases, I will say. So round town, this is a great car because you drive around silently, you're not disturbing anyone. When you want to do sporty driving, you can have the engine on. And the thing is, when you are driving around town, you're in that efficiency band of the electric motor. So that 40 miles that it's saying I can do right now is actually 40 miles. I don't know if you've ever driven 40 miles around London, but yeah, it takes a very long time. It would take you about 4.5 hours. So you've got a lot of battery life for just a hybrid. And the other thing I love about this particular hybrid system is that because it's nearly got 200 horsepower, it gets you up to speed even when you're going onto the motorway without kicking the engine in. So you're not turning the engine on and off constantly, which increases wear. But to be honest, if you charge this thing up at home, you don't necessarily ever need to use the engine. It's got so much range just on the hybrid system alone that, yeah, if you're just doing the average daily commute, you never really need the engine at all. It's just when you want to drive quickly that you need it. So yeah, fantastic car on a B road and round town. Typical BMW. Anyway, how fast is this thing actually 0 to 60? So we know it's just rapid in general, but will it do its claimed figure? BMW say this will do 4.4 seconds on the 0 to 60 sprint, which is mind-boggling for a car in this class. But what will it actually do? Let's do a 0 to 60 sprint now and see what she does. 0 to 60, we matched the claim time of just 4.44 seconds. For an over 2-ton SUV to do that time with less than 500 horsepower is immensely impressive. That's as quick as a VW Golf R, nearly as fast as a BMW M340i, and quicker than a Mercedes E53 AMG. What a rocket ship. So, coming onto the motorway, I've gone for pure electric mode only. I'm going to put my foot down and just see what it does. So, 30 odd miles an hour, put my foot down now. This is the battery alone doing this. That's 50, that's 60, that's 70 miles an hour. That's not slow, is it? That's a genuinely, like, quick thing. That's genuinely fast for a hybrid car. And obviously, being an EV, it reacts instantly. So you put your foot down here, and you go straight away. I'm literally driving on the motorway in EV only mode, and it just feels like a regular EV. Do you know what's really sad, actually? My first long-term press car was a Citroen EC4X, and that had 124 horsepower in like its electric motor. Obviously this has got more, so it feels quicker. And this is a hybrid. Oh, that's quite sad. I mean, it's great though. And we've still got 37 miles of predicted range. Remember, we've done sporty driving, we've done town driving, and we've done a 0 to 60. And obviously, you know, you do those more than once because you want the best time. I do them about 5 times on average, and yeah, this car still has over half its charge left. I'm going to drive this thing on its battery actually, so we've got 37 miles of remaining range, and we've got 19 miles left, which means in theory we should have about 18 miles of remaining range when we get back to the dealership. I'm not going to drive at 60 either, I'm going to drive at 70 miles an hour, so I want to see if this car is lying to me or not. Let's get the cruise control on 70 and see what we do. We're also going to see how noisy this car is inside on the motorway. Is it as quiet as the previous generation X5? Let's find out. Well, as it turns out, this is the quietest car we've ever had on the channel. We, at 70 miles an hour, have done 69.1 decibels. That's extraordinary. I regard the Audi A3 to be a quiet car, and that does 71.5. The previous generation X5 was just over 70. This has done 69.1. I think part of that is because it's a hybrid, so we're not using the engine on the motorway. We are literally just silent. We're wafting. And yeah, this car on the motorway, damping is lovely and soft. Obviously adaptive dampers again, so they're in their softest setting when you're in comfort mode. There's no noise coming from the engine because it's not on. Steering's nice and light, yet it's still quick enough where, like, if I'm changing lanes, I basically just have to touch it, which is nice. Anyway, let's crack on back to the dealership at Vine BMW and see if we have about 18 miles of remaining range left. I can't believe this. We are back at the dealership. Look, it's literally just there. And it's saying we've still got 20 miles of range left. Oh yeah, one other thing. That entire review, we did 47 miles per gallon, including 0 to 60, 30 to 70, sporty driving, driving around town and on the motorway. We did 47 mpg in an over 2-ton X5. So not only is this thing fast, family friendly, comfortable, quiet when you want it to be, loud when you want it to be, handles how you want it to handle on a B road, will not lie to you about its electric only range, has a pretty good range in its fuel tank anyway. It is just an extraordinary car all round. And the thing is, it's got newer battery technology and it's got one of BMW's most reliable engines ever. So do you really need to worry about reliability? Well, I suppose only time will tell. But for now, I mean, what a bit of kit. Absolutely awesome. Anyway, thank you to Vine BMW again. There'll be a link down in the description below that goes to their website. Please check them out. They're a lovely bunch of chaps that work there. And yeah, other than that, I will leave you guys to it. And I will see you on the next one, because my name is Tom and you are watching Paragon Cars. Alright guys, cheers.